Hello everyone, it's Fuzzy from Fuzzy's Ghost Models back with you again. Today we're going to look at this special hobby Blackburn Roc Mark 1. So I know the RAF had, this is a Fleet Air Arm one. The RAF and Fleet Air Arms both toyed with turreted fighters. Bolt and Paul Defiant was one for the RAF. Both after their initial success and the opposing Germans figured out the secret behind these aircraft, they didn't really have great success over the war. But the really good thing is they're really cool looking. Having a little turret in the back there with 4.303s, kind of cool. Anyway, we're gonna have a look at this special hobby kit right now. I have not built a special hobby. I've built some of the classic airframes kits before, so I am hoping these are slightly better. Special hobby's still going, and they have an interesting line of subject matter. So inside the box here, well, we can see that everything's in one bag. So let's tear this open and let's have a look. All right, dump this out. All together. Anyway, so on top we have two fuselage halves and lower wing section. The plastic is a little on the soft side. So actually, it's better than what I would expect from a limited run kit like these. Or they're not super high tech. They're not Tamiya or anything in that nature. Hasegawa. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. Shape looks good. The on the actual Blackburn Roc, just like the Bolt and Paul Defiant, the back hump of the turret retracts when the turret's in operation, so the guns can clear side to side. This does not give you the option to have the fuselage hump in the down position, so it's in the up position. You could cut it, I guess, but I mean, overall detail is okay. There's no rivet detail whatsoever on this. There's a bit of a parting seam line you can see on the edges that'll need to be filed off. But again, it's not a high quality production kit, mass production. Yeah, so the wings. Same story with the wings. There's no rivet detail except for some of the access holes in the for service. There's not many of those, but all the panel lines are all pretty finely detailed, engraved lines, which is nice. And I don't see any big plastic distortions or sink marks or any of that nature in it. All right, put that aside. Let's look at all the plastic stuff first, then we'll get to the resin. Alright, and I think that's where the seat came from. So there's the seat. Nothing special. It's a seat. There's no detail on it whatsoever. It's going to need seat belts to bring that thing to life. And the sprue, it's got the kind of shiny plastic to it. I can feel some mold release on it as well, so a good wash is always recommended, especially on limited kits like this. There are some heavy witness marks on from the seam parting line through here on some of the landing gear on this, particularly this sprue. But it's nothing you haven't seen before, and it's certainly as good as some of the Airfix kits I've seen. Then this other sprue here, we have the horizontal stabilizers and some of the cockpit. Looks like, yeah, cockpit base and bulkheads and whatnot. It's all pretty rudimentary. Surface detail is acceptable, but the rest of it is kind of lacking. So I think where this kit's going to shine apart from being a really funky subject, like it's pretty cool, is this. Actually, let's take this out of the way. We'll dump this resin out and see what we have. Alright. So, we have 2 wheel bays, which, to be quite honest with you, there's not really much in them. They're not really going to enhance the kit any, except for plugging up the hole that was there. Now, it does come with an engine. So there's the motor housing. And some of the other, that's probably for the turret. Yep, that's for the mount for the turret machine guns. And not too sure about those. Well, that might be the actual, yeah, that must be the housing that goes for the machine guns themselves. The pivot points, I guess, is what you might call them. And then we have some cylinder heads for the engine, which are pretty decent. They got some decent detail in them for sure. Cylinder head push rods. Yeah. What else? Looks like bomb racks. And some other smaller parts, maybe for cockpit. I'm not really sure. We have to look at it. Anyway, let's have a look at the clear part. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's have a look at the clear part. Right. We'll look at that. All right, clear parts. Ah, they look pretty good. That's pretty clear. Not bad. Not bad at all. We can get a good look at that. A little dip in the future, and should be quite nice. I remember the first attempt at classic airframes, Bolt and Paul Defiant. It was the first initial release. There was 0 wheel well detail, and it was all vacuum form canopy stuff, which really sucked to work with. I know I'm being a whiny modeler, but anyway, I'm used to injection molded stuff and some resin. The vacuum form stuff it's like a foreign language, so it's hard to deal with. Okay, so we also have the decals, which are just special hobby decals, and you can see all the comes finished markings, it looks like, because they're all, the swastikas are all cut up so they can sell it in Europe. Got some film here for the instrument panel, which honestly that just looks like black blobs, so I don't know what the point in that is. There's the little bit of photo etch instrument panel, which I can't stand these photo etch instrument panels. They don't look good at all. Just give me a plastic one and I'll paint it up. Way easier and looks more authentic. These just look like dark holes usually most of the time. The old Edward style stuff, didn't like that at all. So it looks like it's got some, maybe, I don't know, it's bomb racks. I'll have to have a look at the instructions, and then some other small photo etch stuff. There are seat belts to kind of spruce up that seat just a little bit, because it's pretty bland. Pretty bland. All right, let's have a look at this instruction manual. Blackburn Roc. So in a couple of languages, we have the history of the aircraft, then your usual part sprue breakdown. Yep, no surprises. It's got a couple of fuel tanks here. I mean, the inside, let's have a look. The inside of the fuselage, yeah, it's got some rib detail, but it's pretty basic. Only a couple little bits going on the inside. Might need some sprucing up there for the cockpit for sure. And there's belts for the seat, belts for the main seat, and it looks like is that belt for the turret. Yep, that's and belts for the gunner for his lap. A little bit of detail with the exhaust or intakes for the engine. arrestor hook because it's Fleet Air Arm aircraft. Yeah, so it's got some sort of wing mounts. There's no armament or anything included in the kit to mount them to, but you can have empty wing racks if you want. So what do we got here? We got the camouflage, so Camo A, Camo B, a couple of Fleet Air Arm aircraft, one earlier and one later style. You see the big yellow roundel, and then the cuts of the gray is higher up on the fuselage on this one with the lower visibility roundels. And we have a silver one sprayed with aluminum paint, so it's not bare metal. Don't make that mistake. It's like the high-speed silver after the Second World War. They weren't bare metal, they were silver paint. And then the finish one, which is pretty much like the same scheme as this one, but not with the white and black wings. Interesting. And then some more stuff from them. All right, so that was the Special Hobby Blackburn Roc. Now, again, like I said before, I've not built a Special Hobby aircraft or kit. I went on a bit of a rampage and bought a couple of Spitfires, Mark 12s, I think they were, one of them also had a V1 with it in a set, which I thought was kind of cool. So we'll see how they go when I try and put them together. Let me know in the comments if you've built a Special Hobby, what you think of that. Think of that company. How does it compare to other ones? How does it compare to a Tamiya kit, which we kind of know? How does it compare to classic airframes? Because I'm familiar with a few of those, built a couple of those in the day. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you like this little in the box review, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Tell me why. Tell me why you liked it. Tell me why you didn't like it. Let me know. Hit the notification bell so next time I do one of these, whether you like it or not, you can come back and watch and make fun of me or agree with me or post a comment. And subscribe, because it really helps the channel out. I appreciate it. Anyway, thanks for joining. Appreciate your time in going through this with me. And please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We'll see you soon. All right, thanks. Bye.